Hello and welcome. We are so happy that you joined us. We are going to use this session as a time for you to feel comfortable in starting at WGU and answer any questions that you might have. We have an icebreaker question to start, and so we would ask for you to come off mute or put this in the chat. Your name, what you're most looking forward to as you begin your program, and what's something you enjoy doing when you're not in school. For the sake of this recording, I'm going to move past this if you're not attending live and just go over our agenda for this session. First is your course roadmap. We want to walk you through your course structure, introduce your instructor, and show you exactly where to find the materials and resources you need so you're never left guessing. We wanted to also show you your program learning community. We'll get you registered in the program community where you can connect with fellow learners and even students who are already working in the field. You don't have to do this alone. And we want you to feel surrounded by a community so that it doesn't feel like you're alone as you're going to school online. And then next, your course learning community. We're going to explore this team space together and highlight the tools and resources available to you throughout your studies. We'll also explain the difference between the program learning community and the course learning community. And then finally, your first assignments. We want to review your first tasks and give you a clear, confident game plan for submitting a strong first draft. No surprises, no stress. All right, so let's get started. First, we want to show you what your course looks like and where to find all of the information that you need. So if you are on your degree plan page, we want you to click on that first course, D640, which is Giving, Receiving, and Incorporating Feedback. You can also find this by clicking on your Courses tab at the top. So first, if you looked on the left-hand side, this is the overview of this course. So this explains a little bit about what you'll be learning, and then below that are the competencies. This structure is going to look very familiar because every course is going to look the same as you get into this. So it will be easy to find the information that you're looking for. Number 3, we want to look there in the middle. This is where your course information is. You don't have to purchase any additional textbooks when you go to WGU. All of your textbooks are online and included in your courses. And so this is where you will find this online textbook. You can also do the course planning tool there at the top. This will give you an idea of kind of a baseline of what you might already know about this course and what you might need to study. It can be used as a helpful tool as you're getting started. And then on the right-hand side, this is your instructor information. Right above instructor will be a blue box that says Start Course. Once you hit Start Course, then this information below will populate. It normally takes about 24 hours, but below instructor, you'll have a picture of who your instructor is and all of their contact information. How to schedule time with them and their email address. There will also be a group instructor information spot. So if your instructor is unavailable or out for a few days, you can always schedule with another instructor by using that group link. There also are the numbers below there for student services and the IT service desk if you ever need that. Next, if you keep scrolling down in that middle section, you will see a few useful things for this course that we want to point out. Number 1 there, that is that yellow button that says Go to Course Material. This is your online textbook. So this is where you will find all of that information. And then right above that, do you see where it says Course Learning Community, that link? This is going to take you to that team space, which we will explain a little bit in more detail after this. And you'll be able to connect with your instructor and with other students in that spot. Number 2, you'll see there on the screen is cohort sign up. You can click that explore cohort offerings to see when this instructor offers either drop-in sessions or help with tasks. It might be a study guide session, but if you click on that, you'll be able to see all of the available times and register there. And then number 3, this is your assessment section. There are two types of courses at WGU. There are either objective assessment courses or performance assessment courses. Objective assessment courses are only a test, and we can explain that at another time. Or there are the performance assessment courses, which is what D640 is. This should look really similar to your orientation, where you had a task that you needed to complete and then you submitted it and waited for evaluation to get back to you. So for this particular course, you have two tasks, and you can see in the example that this student had already passed it, but it takes about 3 days for evaluators to look at your task and show that you've passed. And you're going to look at the information the same way you did with orientation, where you click on View Task and see what they're asking you to do. Okay, so we want to get into the program learning community and explain what this is. This is on Microsoft Teams, and this is an additional part of your program that no other WGU program offers. So this is a chance for you to connect with other students who are in this program with you. It's a chance for you to build some community, and as you get closer to graduation, it's also a great time for you to do some networking, maybe find an internship, or even come up with some ways to interview and practice that in that space as well. You will be in this Microsoft Teams channel until you graduate. So we want to go over just some features of that so you can find what you need in this space. You should have received an email inviting you to this program learning community. If you did not, please reach out to your program mentor for that. But once you get into this space, you will see on the left-hand side a list of the channels. There's a Start Here channel, there's a Get Connected, Growth Zone, Celebrations, and then Career Conversations. So you can kind of explore all of these channels as you want. There's a lot of great information in all of the channels, but I would recommend that you would start at the Start Here channel. In the middle here, you will see this Start Here channel and what that looks like. So up at the top, you will see where it says Start Here, there you'll automatically be in the Post section. There are some shared files and then the communications calendar. So if you are looking for something specific that you know was shared earlier, you can go to that as a shortcut to find it rather than scrolling. And then you'll see there in the middle, Amy has posted welcome. And Amy is a program mentor here. And so you'll see these welcome posts every month, and it will have some prompts of what you can comment below, your name or where you're from. Just a great space for you to get to know other students. If you look at number 3 there at the top, it says Meet Now. If you are meeting with an instructor or attending a live event, that would be a good spot for you to click to be able to join with that person. Otherwise, a lot of times if there's a live event, you will have registered in advance and you would have an email link which would take you right to that Teams live event. If you want to post something in this channel, look at number 4 there and that blue box that says Post in this channel. Okay, I want to show you another example of a channel, and this is the Career Conversations channel. There at the bottom, you'll see on the left-hand side. And this is a spot where if we have a live event, we will post the link here. So recently we had a grad panel, and we featured 3 graduates who came back and shared their tips and what they wish they would have known as they started. And so all of the details for that event are below. And there's a register here link if you see that in the middle there. So if you were wanting to attend that event, you would click on that register button. It would send you an email confirmation with a link to join when it was time. This particular event was on May 20th. So on May 20th, you would click that link and it would take you to that live event space. In this channel, not only do we have live events, but we also post highlights of upcoming internships. There might be some spots where we highlight some industry professionals who are coming and doing a presentation. And it's a good chance for you to just build your resume and build your connections in this space. We're not going to go through all of the channels, but the ones in between there, in between Start Here and Career Conversations, are Get Connected and Growth Zone. These channels give you a chance to chat with other students, maybe get some tips for studying. Some of our students have even connected and formed study groups separately, and we encourage all of that for you to get a chance to really get to know your fellow classmates and get connected in this space. We also have a thing called course learning communities, which are different. Course learning community will look very much the same. It's a Microsoft Teams channel. However, this is a temporary space that you are in only while you are in that specific course. At WGU, in this specific degree program, you have 4 courses that will use a course learning community. And I will show you what those look like, but you will only be in that space while you are in that particular course. So these are the 4 courses that use the course learning community. D640, which is the course that we're going to go over tonight, that is the Giving, Receiving, and Incorporating Feedback course. D641, D642, and D643. These will be in subsequent terms in your program. So you will get an invite from your instructor or from your program mentor inviting you to this space. So once you get into D640, you'll notice that it looks a lot like the one that we just showed you. On the left-hand side, you have all of the main channels. They're a little bit different. You've got an announcement section, you've got a Start Here section, and then it goes through some things that will be very helpful for you as you complete your tasks in this course. So some feedback frameworks, self-assessment findings, performance assessment. This is a spot for you to get some specific help for those tasks that you're doing, question and answer, and then course resources. In the middle there, you'll see Chelsea had posted a welcome. She's an instructor for this course, and so she gives some just general rules for this space. And then on the bottom there, number 3, you'll see a bunch of emojis. You might see some comments below there. I didn't include them just for student privacy, but you'll see a spot where you can get connected with other students. So we want to jump into this first course to give you an idea what to expect as you get started and how to be successful in completing these first 2 tasks. So we want to go through this in detail, and we're going to start with task 1, how to complete task 1 in a day. So when you click on task 1, you're going to get this task overview, which shows you what the task is asking you to do. And when you scroll down, you'll see that there are 3 separate scenarios you can read through. And then if you keep scrolling, you'll see the actual instructions for what they want you to do for the assignment. And then if you keep scrolling, you'll see the rubric, which explains how it will be scored. And then keep scrolling and you'll see at the very bottom this feedback framework template. It's easy to miss. It's all the way down at the bottom. This is what you want to click on and download to your computer. This is what you're going to fill out for this assignment. Once you download it and open it up, it's going to open up a Word document that looks like this. So you'll want to save it as a different name to your computer files and then start filling out this template. So to start with, you'll see that it's got part A there at the top. It's talking about SBI framework. And there's a really good spot in your course material to go and get all of the answers for these things. So if you go to section 1, you'll see there on the left-hand side, you're looking for this other feedback frameworks. And in this section, there are a lot of videos to explain all the different types of frameworks. And then you'll see this chart when you scroll down that lays it all out for you, the 4 different types of feedback frameworks, how they're similar, how they're different. So you'll find this section especially very helpful as you're completing this assignment. So going to section A, talking about that a little bit in more detail, you're going to choose and identify one of those 3 scenarios that you want to talk about. So you remember when we talked about that task overview and it had 3 scenarios there at the top. You're going to pick one of those. And then number 2 says, identify the situation that meets the definition of a situation within the SBI feedback framework in the chosen scenario. So you're going to fill out that SBI column, and I'll show you that on the next slide. Identify 2 specific behaviors within that SBI feedback framework demonstrated in the chosen scenario, and then explain 1 impact. A lot of times we'll see students have their tasks returned just for missing these simple words that are in bold. Maybe they only did 1 behavior as they answered it, and they really needed to include 2 behaviors, or they included more than 1 impact, and they really want you to focus just on 1. So make sure that you're really reading those instructions carefully. So you're filling out this section here on top. You're going to pick the scenario that you wanted to talk about, identify which one it is. You're going to talk about the situation in that next column. This should be facts only. This should be date, time, setting, people, whatever kind of facts you can take from that scenario. So you're not putting anything else besides the actual facts of that scenario. The next section is behavior. What is happening in this scenario? So maybe there's something that is causing a conflict. Describe what that behavior is. Remember to keep it still fact-based. You're not putting any of your own opinions or judgments into this. And then finally, what was the impact? How was that team impacted by the behavior, or what was the outcome of that? Again, no judgments or biases, opinions. This is only fact-based, and you're going to pull this right from the scenario. Another reason that we see this task returned for revisions for students is because too much information is put in these columns. So please just be aware that they are looking for a simple, brief answer for each of these columns. They want you to be very specific of what the setting was or the situation, what was the behavior, and what was the impact. And remember that for behavior, they're looking for 2 specific behaviors, and for impact, they're looking for only 1. Okay, so again, just reiterating, situation is a location, time, or general idea of what was going on. Behavior are the specific factual behaviors, and then the impact is what was the impact of this situation and behavior? How did that impact someone else? Next, you're going to talk about section B, which is you're going to pull from that same scenario and talk about COIN feedback framework. And so you're going to number 1, explain how it can be used to provide feedback. So what is the COIN feedback framework? And then number 2, why would this be an appropriate way to provide feedback for that scenario? Why is an important word. So why is that an appropriate way? Why would you choose COIN feedback framework? Again, remember to go back to your course material to watch the video of what is COIN feedback framework and how is it different from SBI. So you're going to use that to fill in this middle section here. And then here are similarities and differences between SBI and COIN. And so you can take a look at that. Again, this is in your course material as well. Next, you're working on section C. So you're going to describe a scenario that a partnership feedback framework could be used. So you're creating your own unique scenario for this. So you're going to go back to your course material. You're going to watch the video about what is partnership feedback, and look at that chart again that we showed you and create your own scenario that would work for partnership feedback framework. And then number 2, again, that important word, why. Why is this feedback framework an appropriate way to provide feedback for this specific scenario that you've created? So you are filling out this section now, part C. And so this partnership model fosters a sense of collaboration, shared goals, mutual respect. It's a two-way communication. It promotes trust. It's ideal for ongoing relationships. So now we're going to talk about section D. Section D is all about 360-degree feedback framework. So you're going to go back to your course material again, watch the video about 360-degree feedback framework so that you know what that is. Look at that chart to see how it's different, how it's the same, and then you're going to create, again, your own unique scenario in how you could use this 360-degree feedback framework. And then number 2, why is this an appropriate way? And so you're filling out section D here. Here are some facts about 360-degree framework. It aims to provide constructive feedback to improve performance and or behavior. It involves collecting feedback from multiple sources. So you're going to peers, subordinates, supervisors, clients. You're getting it from a variety of people. It covers a broad range of performance and or behaviors. It can be complex and time consuming, but it is great for developing personalized development plans and ongoing support. So hopefully that will help you think about what scenario would be great for this 360-degree framework. Okay, so you have finished this template, you're going to save it, and then you are going to submit it. So this is how you submit an assignment to be evaluated. Similar to your orientation, so this should all look the same. You're going to click on submissions there at the top. I chose this example because I wanted to show you what it looks like when it is returned for revision. It's going to happen to everybody, so don't stress if you do have something come back at some point in your WGU career that needs some revision. So if you have something returned, it's going to look like this. You're going to make the changes that they suggested. If you look up there at the top where it says evaluation report, that's where they're going to be very specific about what is missing or what they want to see changed. You'll resave it as a different name, and then you will upload it in the same way. Okay, so that is it for task 1. Task 2. Quickly going over what task 2 entails, I wanted to show this screenshot of what it looks like. And so on the left-hand side, this is your competencies, the requirements, all of that. And then I put them side by side. If you keep scrolling, you'll see the instructions there on the right-hand side. And so we're going to go over those instructions in detail of how you're going to complete this. Now, this one is different. There is no template that you're going to be filling out. So you're going to open up a document in Microsoft Word and start answering each of these questions. My tip is to highlight A, B, and C from this instruction sheet, copy it, put it into Word, and paste it. And then just start working section by section to answer each of those. That way you know that you're not missing anything. It's easy to miss one of the answers that you're supposed to be answering, or to miss something little, like they're asking for 2 examples and you put 1. So let's go over each of these sections. Section A, the first thing they want you to do is complete that 16 personalities test. So there's a link there right in the instructions to complete that. This can be really interesting. I love talking to students about their results, and if they agree with it or they don't agree with it, most of the time it's very accurate. So it's just interesting to see what comes out of that. Okay, so then you're going to answer these questions based on what you get back from the self-assessment. So number 1 is identify your personality type. So on your Word document, number 1 is going to be you writing down what is the personality type that they showed in that assessment. Number 2, identify your desired career or job that is of interest to you. So again, these can be short answers, answer them in complete sentences, but it doesn't have to be an essay when you return this. And then number 3, using the profile from your personality type obtained from the 16 personalities test self-assessment, you're going to explain 1 strength and 1 weakness for how your personality type aligns with the career field or job identified. So you're looking back at the first 2 questions. What is a strength and what is a weakness of your personality type for that specific career? All right, next, part B is doing an interview with someone who is working in your desired field. This sometimes can be difficult for students to just figure out who they're going to interview. If you need help with this, please reach out to your mentor, but that Microsoft Teams channel is a great way to reach out to someone and just see if anybody is willing to do an interview with you or if maybe they have a contact. So here are some ideas. Who can you interview? Think about people that you work with in your current job. Supervisor, a colleague, a mentor. Go to your WGU community, go to those team spaces, connect with someone in your program learning community or your course learning community and see if someone can do an interview. Go to LinkedIn, look up WGU alumni or locate someone in your dream job and connect. This is a really great opportunity for you to make some connections within your field that you're looking to go into. Remember that this is a brief interview. No stress. Sit down over coffee or make a phone call. It can be very short. There's only a few questions that you need to ask someone. So here are the questions that they want you to ask. Number one, how did you get started in your career? How has networking helped you develop your career? What advice would you give to someone starting in your field? What are the key skills and knowledge needed to be successful in your field? And what is the best career advice or feedback you have ever received? So these 5 questions you're going to ask. Now, this is a spot where a lot of students miss. Provide one additional question of your own to ask in the interview. Make sure that you are coming up with your own question that you're going to use. And then number 2, you're going to reflect on their responses to the questions you asked by doing the following. So then you're going to fill out on your Word document these answers and they're going to guide you with what they're looking for. Now, keep in mind, you do not need to record your interview. You don't have to type out a complete transcript of what you talked about. They really want you to just answer this 2, A, B, and C. So number 1, you're going to let the evaluators know what was the additional question that you asked. And then number 2, you're going to start reflecting on their responses. So A, identify the role of the person you interviewed and how their role interests you. I have seen this return for revisions because they forget to write down what is the role of this person? What's their position or how do you know them? Why does their role interest you? How does it interest you? Do not include the name of the person or any specific identifying information. You can keep it very general. And then B, describe an insight gained from the interview and how you can use this insight in your career journey. So you'll notice they're asking you really 2 things. Describe an insight and how can you use this insight in your career journey. Make sure you're answering both of those things. And then C, describe an insight you gained from the interview regarding the importance of networking. All right, then you're going to move to part C. Now you're going to tie all this together. You did the 16 personalities test, you did the interview. You're going to tie in all of that information to talk about why this has influenced your choice of a desired job or career field. So when you're doing this part C, you just want to answer that question there. How did the feedback from each of those things influence your choice of desired job? It can be one sentence to answer that, but just make sure that you're talking about both of those things, the self-assessment and the interview. And that is it. You will finish that Word document, save it, submit it just the way you did for task 1, wait a couple of days for that to be evaluated, and then you will see that you passed. And that is it to pass your first course. Hopefully this has been helpful to walk through what a course looks like, how do you find your resources, and especially just utilizing those program learning communities and course learning communities so that you can connect with other students and get the information that you need. Thanks for joining us. Bye.